In January 2026, the world is watching a renewed geopolitical tension unfold in the Arctic. Former and current U.S. President Donald Trump has revived his interest in acquiring Greenland, an autonomous territory of Denmark. This move has sparked diplomatic friction, economic threats, and concerns over alliances. What started as a 2019 proposal dismissed as unconventional has now escalated into demands backed by tariffs and hints of military action. This video explores the background, reasons, and implications for the United States, Europe, and NATO, drawing on reported facts and perspectives from various stakeholders. Background on the proposal. Greenland, the world's largest island, lies in the North Atlantic, strategically positioned between North America and Europe. With a sparse population of about 56,000, it remains under Danish sovereignty but enjoys significant autonomy. The United States has long maintained a presence there through the Thule Air Base, established under a 1951 defense agreement for missile warning and space surveillance. Trump first publicly expressed interest in purchasing Greenland in 2019, calling it a large real estate deal. The idea was met with rejection from Danish and Greenlandic officials, who emphasized that the island is not for sale. This led to strained relations, including the cancellation of a planned state visit to Denmark. Now, in his second term starting in 2025, Trump has intensified the effort. As of early 2026, he has demanded Denmark relinquish control, threatening tariffs on Denmark and several European allies if no agreement is reached for a complete and total purchase. Tariffs are set to begin at 10% in February, rising to 25% by June. Trump has appointed special envoys and not ruled out military options, stating the U.S. could take it the hard way if necessary. In response, European NATO members have deployed small military forces to Greenland to show solidarity with Denmark. Reasons cited for the acquisition. The Trump administration frames the acquisition as vital for U.S. national interests. Key reasons include: first, national security. Greenland's location makes it crucial for monitoring Arctic threats from Russia and China, who are expanding their military presence in the region. Trump has argued that without U.S. control, adversaries could seize the opportunity, saying, "If we don't do it, Russia or China will." Expanding operations at Thule Air Base could integrate into a proposed Golden Dome missile defense system. Second, economic opportunities. Climate change is melting Greenland's ice, revealing vast resources like oil, natural gas, rare earth minerals, zinc, gold, and uranium. These could be worth trillions and reduce U.S. reliance on foreign suppliers, particularly China for rare earths. New shipping routes, such as the Northwest Passage, could shorten trade paths to Asia. Third, geopolitical leverage. Controlling Greenland would bolster U.S. dominance in the Arctic amid increasing competition. Administration officials have emphasized power dynamics, with one noting, "The iron laws of the world include strength, force, and power." Supporters, including some military experts, argue that U.S. management could enhance regional security more effectively than current arrangements. Criticisms and counterarguments. Critics, including U.S. lawmakers and international leaders, contend that the reasons are overstated. The U.S. already has access through existing agreements, and expanded rights could be negotiated without annexation. Public opinion in the U.S. shows low support, with only 17% favoring acquisition and 4% backing force. Bipartisan congressional efforts aim to block funding for any military action against allies. Denmark and Greenland have rejected the demands outright, viewing them as threats to sovereignty. Greenlandic leaders stress their right to self-determination, while Danish officials have called the tariffs blackmail. Implications for the United States. For the U.S., success could mean strengthened military and economic positions in the Arctic, aligning with an America First policy. It might create jobs in defense and mining sectors. However, risks abound. Domestically, the push faces opposition from Republicans and Democrats alike, potentially harming Trump's legacy. Economically, retaliatory tariffs from Europe could increase consumer costs and disrupt trade. Internationally, it risks portraying the U.S. as aggressive, isolating it from allies during global challenges like the ongoing conflict in Ukraine. Implications for Europe. Europe sees this as a challenge to unity and sovereignty. Denmark has bolstered defenses with allied support, including troops from Germany, France, and Norway. The threatened tariffs on multiple EU countries could lead to a trade war, with the EU preparing €93 billion in countermeasures, affecting U.S. banks and tech firms. Leaders warn of strained transatlantic ties, diverting resources from priorities like energy security and support for Ukraine. The crisis highlights EU divisions on responding to U.S. pressure, potentially weakening the bloc's global stance. Implications for NATO. NATO, the 77-year-old alliance of 32 members, faces perhaps its greatest internal test. Trump's actions target fellow members, undermining the collective defense principle under Article 5. European leaders and U.S. figures like Senator Mitch McConnell have warned it could shatter trust and lead to the alliance's demise. The divide benefits adversaries like Russia and China by distracting from shared threats. If escalated, it might prompt Europe to develop independent defenses, reducing U.S. influence. Peaceful resolution, such as enhanced basing agreements, could refocus NATO on Arctic cooperation. Key takeaways. Strategic value remains high. Greenland's Arctic location and emerging resources make it genuinely important for security and economics in a changing climate, regardless of ownership debates. U.S. already has significant access. Through Thule Air Base and defense pacts, the United States maintains a strong military footprint without full control, suggesting negotiation could address needs short of annexation. Alliance strain is real and risky. Targeting NATO allies with tariffs and threats weakens collective defense at a time when unity is needed against Russia and China. Low domestic support limits feasibility. With minimal public backing in the U.S. and congressional pushback, forceful action appears unlikely to succeed politically. Diplomatic path preferred by most. Expanded cooperation agreements, rather than outright purchase or takeover, offer a potential compromise that preserves alliances while addressing U.S. concerns. Broader lesson. The dispute underscores how climate change is reshaping global geopolitics, turning remote regions into flashpoints for great power competition. As of January 2026, no deal has been reached, and tensions persist. Diplomatic talks continue, with congressional blocs on U.S. military funds offering a potential check. The situation highlights the delicate balance of alliances in an era of great power competition.